Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily, then distribute it everywhere and even earn money, all in one place for free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also available on Spotify. And when you want to take conversations with your fans to the next level, Q&A and polls are the best way to get them talking. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, it's totally free with no catch. Ever since I discovered Spotify for Podcasters, it's made it super easy for me to start my own podcast, and I would highly recommend you give it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started today. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to A Love Letter to My 20s. My name is Ariana, and today the scenery is completely different. I am on the beach because I went to see the sunset the other day with my friend, and I was like, this would be amazing to do a podcast episode here. And I feel like to get really in tune with this topic, I needed to be in this setting because today's topic is going to be like set up a little bit different because I was gifted this book by the same friend, and it's called How It Feels to Find Yourself, Navigating Life's Changes with Purpose, Clarity, and Heart. And so this is what it looks like if you guys want to buy it. It's a very easy read, and I actually read it within a day. I kind of just binge read it because it was just like a bunch of different topics, and then it's like a page long on that topic. And so I went through and I highlighted things from this book that really resonated with me. And so I'm going to go through my highlights and read through these quotes and stuff and then speak on it. And I just felt like sunset on the beach was perfect vibes for this because I have been in this journey of finding myself. And so what better way to find yourself than being alone on the beach at sunset? I can't think of a better way. There's people around, and I'm kind of embarrassed, but it's fine. I'm kind of hidden behind this hill of sand, so it's fine. So I just want to talk about this topic a little bit because it's very easy said how to find yourself and how it feels to find yourself. And I also have not fully found myself. You know what I mean? I feel like you don't really find yourself until you're a little bit older, but I feel like I have been through experiences in my self-help journey that I can speak upon it. Again, this is my experiences. And when I was at the sunset the other day with my friend, I was like, do you ever listen to my podcast and do you think like you're just wrong? And she was just like, no, because it's how you get through things. You know what I mean? Like it's your perspective and your view on life and all that stuff. And so it made me feel better because I feel like when I come on this podcast, I, want to help everyone and I want to like give advice to everyone. But I really can only give advice based on things that I've experienced and things that I have been through. And so with my self-discovery journey, it's been a while. And like I said in my last episode, I didn't really touch upon it, but basically I was in a 5-year relationship and it ended. And with any breakup and with any like relationship that ends, it's weird because when you're in a relationship, you kind of like depend on the person. And even though like after 5 years, you get to the point where like you don't really depend on them as much. And so like you kind of go your separate ways and you kind of do your own thing. And I was experiencing this, but I was still with another person, and there was like the comfort of having another person. And now there's like so many people in my life, and I have like so many great friends, and I'm like so appreciative of the great friends. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sure everyone can understand the feeling that it's still very lonely and you still are very alone. And so with that comes a lot of different emotions for me. And like I said in my very first episode, my days go by like very fast. Like I overthink a lot, and so I have a lot of thoughts. one day for me is like a week. It feels like a week. And it feels like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm like, am I healing too fast? Or am I like, processing too fast? But really, it just depends on the person, and it just depends on like who you are. There is no like right way to heal, and there's no right way to find yourself, and there's no right time to heal and time to find yourself. I feel like if you just take it day by day, you feel good on some days and you feel bad on some days. And then you have moments where you go to the beach, like I am right now by yourself, and the birds are chirping and the ocean is waving. I don't know. And you realize that nothing is as deep as you once thought it was, and that life goes on, guys. It's crazy because, you spend your whole life finding yourself and all this stuff and going through hardships and going through all these things, and it just continues. Like, no matter what happens, like, life just continues and it goes on, and it's something that I've just like learned to accept. And you lose people and things change, life still goes on. I don't know what I'm saying. I kind of just went off on a rampage. But yeah, so a lot of emotions have come up within the past week, and it's all a part of, finding myself and learning how to deal with my own emotions and like deal with myself and handle myself, because you can't put that all on another person. It just doesn't work. Like, no one's going to get you as well as you get yourself, and that's something that I talk about in every single episode, is that like you kind of only really have yourself. Like, you could have all these people around you, but the only person that really matters and that you should really value like their opinions and stuff is yourself. And so I've been on a self-discovery journey, and this book kind of summed up everything into words. And I took a step back and I just binge read this book. And so the first page that I want to talk about, because I highlighted a bunch of stuff, so I like saved certain pages that like I really wanted to talk about, and then I have highlighted things for when I run out of things. Let's get into it. There is this page that I really loved, and it's called How to Let Go of Self-Doubt. Here they have like little drawings to the left, and then she speaks about it. I am going to read the little drawings part. So, how to let go of self-doubt, erase imposter syndrome, the belief that I don't deserve or haven't earned my success, listen to my fear, what great dream am I afraid of pursuing, what am I more afraid of, never reaching my dream or not even giving myself the chance to try, take action, understand that each step forward builds confidence. And so this resonated with me because I feel like I have these goals and these dreams in my life that I feel like are so unattainable, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like sometimes, I have days where I'm like, you're going to do this. Like, you're going to reach every single goal that you have, and you're going to, get through this, and you're going to, reach your dream life and like do your dream job and pursue your goals. And then other days I'm like, it's just not realistic. Like, get a fucking 9 to 5. Stop being lazy. Like, that's me every other day. And so I kind of recently like stopped myself from trying to achieve like these big goals, because like I said in my last episode, I want to move. And so you can't really move without money, obviously. And, I have my business and stuff, but I need a steady income. And so I was ready to just drop everything. This is like a crazy thing that I went through, is that like a couple days ago, because like I said, my weeks are very short, like my days are very short. A couple days ago, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to quit my business. I'm going to quit my podcast. I'm going to just apply for a job that gives me benefits and just do it. And I was like, I don't need this anymore. And I went through this phase where I was like, I just kind of quit and I give up on the life that I really want. And so it was really sad, honestly. And it was something that like I was secure in, because I knew like if I just got a full-time job, I'd be set. It wouldn't be like my dream life, but it would be sustainable, and it would be allowing me to do my dream life. But then I regained my senses back, and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? That's not really a life that I want to live. I feel like the whole purpose of life is to dream big, guys. Like, it sounds so corny, but it's true. Like, life is more fun when you set these big goals, because if you work towards it and you put in work towards it, it's gonna happen. And I think the problem with me in this past like week was that I gave up and I stopped putting in work. And so obviously, when you don't put in anything, you're not gonna receive anything back. And so I stopped shopping for my store, and I took a break from the podcast and stuff. And obviously, when you do that stuff and you don't put in anything towards your goals, you won't achieve them. But then I got myself back together because I have an episode, a step-by-step guide on how to get your life back together. And I did that guide for myself, and I started working towards the dream life that I want to have. And I let go of any doubt of like, and this goes back to the page that I was talking about. I let go of any doubt of being like, this isn't going to work, or like, this is not sustainable, or like, this is not going to be your future. Like, I let go of that doubt, and I let go of any doubt of like, you know, you're not going to make it and you're not going to achieve your goals. Like, it's just not possible. And I put in a new mindset of, it is possible. Anything is possible. Like, trust me, in this world, anything is possible. You see it in other people. Like, you see people having their business as their full-time job. You see people being podcasters. Like, I see all these things, and it is possible. And it's not miracles. It's believing in yourself. It's putting in work. It's, letting go of self-doubt. And if your dreams are big, good. Like, they should be big. And as long as you're working towards it and you're believing in yourself and you're letting go of this self-doubt, you're going to reach them. And I think that I kind of let that go for a while. And so self-doubt is something that really stops you from doing things. And when there's hardships in your life, it can be easy to kind of just give up and just be like, that whatever, like I don't need a dream life, and I'll be content with just like a comfortable job and stuff. But if that's not what you want, and if you have big dreams and goals, I suggest that you go for them. The only thing and person really stopping you is yourself. Always it is going to be yourself that stops you, nothing else. And so the quote that I loved from this book, I'm sorry if this like episode is kind of all over the place, but the whole idea is like how it feels to find yourself. And with this comes like, finding your purpose and finding your passions and like really understanding yourself. And so that's why it's very complicated, and that's why it's kind of gonna be all over the place. But there was this one quote that I loved from the very first page, and I'm going to read it to you guys. It says, I learned that stability isn't a steady job or someone to come home to every night. It's the knowledge that no matter what thunderstorms rumble outside my window, my self-reliance won't be shaken. The path towards self-recognition is one that you'll walk on your entire life, and there's no better way to spend your time. And so that quote really inspired this episode, because it's true. It's so true that like, you will spend your whole life finding yourself and finding your goals and finding your passions and finding your people and finding what makes you happy and finding what makes you sad and finding, what gives you problems and what doesn't. And that's life. Like, that is life. And like the quote said, like, there is no better way to spend your time than discovering yourself and discovering who you are and like really getting to know yourself. Like, that is the best way you can spend your time. And we have those days where we're like unproductive, and we kind of let ourselves just like chill a little bit. And I know I've had those days. But even those days, like, you're getting to know yourself. Like, every single day, you get to know yourself a little bit more. And there's just, like, no better way to spend your time in this life than just discovering who you are and not really giving a fuck about what other people. I know so many people are like, you can't be a full-time business owner and you can't be a podcaster and like want to live in a city and like want to live somewhere nice and afford like all this stuff. Like, it's not reliable. And I've had so many people tell me this, and I've had so many people be like, well, maybe you should get like a secure job and stuff like that. And I am going to get a secure job, guys, don't worry. But I've had so many people in my lifetime like tell me, not flat out, but that made me think like my goals aren't attainable and like the life that I want isn't attainable. And it doesn't matter what other people think. The only thing that really matters is what you think and how you go about your life and what work you put in to achieve your dream life. And so another quote that I liked was what to do when you feel unsure. Uncertainty is born from two failures: not asking yourself enough questions, and neglecting your head, and not paying attention to how your body feels, neglecting your heart. And I feel like when it came to my life, I kind of, neglected both my thoughts and my feelings and all of that because I didn't think that there was like greater outside of what I had. And so, like I always said, like you should be grateful for what you have and like live in the present moment and stuff. But for me, like I was so comfortable and I was just like, there's like I can't be better. Like I can't, you know, get better or like attain anything better. And that's why like I kind of just like always blocked out my feelings and never like let myself like truly show. For example of like not really like letting yourself fully show. This is like not a deep example, but I love to play the ukulele. I used to play it with my best friend. And we would play the ukuleles and we would sing, and we would do this all the time, and it made me so happy. And then college came and all this stuff, and I would pick it up like every once in a while, but I kind of just like let it go. And the other day, we randomly were like, why don't we ever play anymore? And we picked up the ukulele and we sang and we played, and it felt so freeing. Like it felt like me. You know what I mean? Like it felt like something that I love to do and something that like I missed about myself. And the same thing goes with when in 2020 when I started my business, I was a nursing major and I, changed my major so that I can hopefully get like a good job. And I felt so disconnected from myself. Like I'm a creative person. Like what gets me going is like being creative and, fully expressing myself. Like that's things like that like really just make me my best self. And so I started my business, and it was like one of the best things ever because I got to be creative and I finally felt like, wow, like I have something that, could actually like be my full-time gig. You know what I mean? Like something that I like love to do and something that I'm passionate about and that like makes me feel like myself. Like a lot of things in your life, like even if it's your job, like I know so many people are like, you have your job and then you have like your little hobbies that make you feel like yourself. I feel like it also can be, if this is something that you like want to do, like you can have a job where you're still like fully in tune with yourself and you're very like yourself. You know what I mean? Like that stuff is possible and it's not like impossible to do. And I feel like for my life, like I kind of restricted myself from that. And same thing with the podcast. Like I felt like my creativity was dying. So I started a podcast and I love it. And it's like something that I just love to do. And I feel like a lot of my life, like I kind of just let people, stop me from doing what I wanted to do and like seeing that there's like greater in the world. You know what I mean? And I have like nothing towards anyone and I have no bad tensions towards anyone because everyone that comes into your life is meant to come into your life and not everyone is meant to stay. And something in this book that was amazing and a great quote about people was that it's kind of like a hotel room. Don't think of yourself as a hotel room, but think of life as like a hotel room. Like some people check in and some people check out and some people come to stay for a while and some people, just leave after a day. And so when you start thinking, some people have like certain deadlines that they're going to be in your life and that they're going to stay in your life. Like some people are meant to be in there longer and some people are meant to like teach you and all this stuff. You stop, hating people and you stop holding grudges and stuff because the only person that like is going to be there anyways is yourself. So whoever wants to check in and check out can check in and check out. But if you know yourself well and you like are following your dreams and following your passions and stuff, then it doesn't matter who comes and goes. Like everyone's going to teach you something, and that is the beauty of life. And so I really hope my camera doesn't die because I don't know what I'm going to do because I don't have an outlet. But I got into this phase where I kind of lost myself and I didn't want to be like a people person anymore. Like I just like I lost myself so bad, and I was talking to two friends about this, and they both like separately had conversations where they were like, I feel like I've hit a rock bottom before, and that is what I needed to get me to the place that I am right now. And that's everyone. Like when you compare your life to everyone else's and you think, oh my God, this person is so cool because they have everything like put together and stuff, they probably hit a rock bottom. And so, you go through all these hard things and you get to your very lowest to the point where like you can't go any lower. You know what I mean? And once you get to that like very low, it's only up. And all the ups you're going to feel so appreciative for, because it's like what rock bottom felt like. Like you knew what it felt like, and you don't want to ever go there again. And this is better than that was. You know what I mean? And that, you have to go through like these hard things to pick yourself back up and, reach that dream goal that you want and stuff like that. And so I was at rock bottom where I was like, I don't care about people. Like I don't care about anyone's feelings. I was like, I really just like don't want to be here. I went like kind of manic cuz I was like, I want to move so bad. And this is something that I really want to do still. But I was thinking it for the wrong reasons, because I was like, I need to move. Like I don't want to associate with anyone here. And like I am so tired of everyone here, and I just like can't do it anymore. Like I kind of broke down. Like it was pretty rock bottom for me, if you would have seen. And I was just like, I am so done with this. Like I don't care about people's feelings and all this stuff. And I was talking to my other friend about this, and she was like, I feel like you're kind of running from your problems. And I answered and I was like, well, there's no problems that I care about enough anyways. Like I was like, I'm not even running from anything because I don't care. I don't care what problems I have. I don't care. But she was right. A lot of times, I'm kind of in the wrong. I was running from my problems. I was so tired with everyone, and I was ready to give up and just like move and stuff. I ran into a dilemma where my camera died. This camera just sucks, guys. Like I need a new one, and I'm planning to buy a new one soon, but I don't know. It dies like all the time. I literally charged it. So I'm recording on my iPhone right now, and I am sorry for the quality, but anyways, I don't even know what I was saying. I kind of was going on a rampage again. I think I was talking about like hitting rock bottom or something. It's not that everyone sucks and, all this stuff. It's like the hotel thing. Like you fall out of frequency with things and people. Like it's not normal to go your whole life like in the same frequency. You know what I mean? You're going to change, and things around you are either going to stay in your life or they're not going to match your frequency. And so I was talking to my uncle about this cuz he's someone that's very like manifesting. Like he loves his life, and he has like built a life for himself that like is very inspiring. And so I was talking to him because he gives me a lot of comfort when I talk to him. Like he's very wise, I feel like, and he's a great person to talk to. And so he was saying like, I feel like I genuinely am a good person. And I was telling him like I feel the same way most of the times. Like I do feel like genuinely like I haven't done anything like insanely horrible. And at the time that I was talking to him, I kind of was just like, I'm tired of being a good person because I feel like it just gets taken advantage of. Like I'm just like tired. Like I'm tired of, like I don't know. I'm just like tired of this. And he was saying, he was like, well, don't stop being a good person. He was like, because it's just like your frequency is like changing. Like your life is just changing. Like things are falling out of frequency with you and all this stuff. Like there's no need to, freak out and be like, I don't like who I am right now, and I don't like the choices that I make and stuff like that. It's really just like you're changing frequency and you're like growing. You're just like different. And that is like a part of life, and that's something that you like learn through. It's not something that you feel like you need to run from. And so speaking on the topic of moving, because like I said, I was talking about it and she was like, I feel like you're just kind of like running from your problems. And the thing is that I thought that the solution was just, you move away and you don't have to deal with anything, and you kind of can just like restart all over. But the thing is, and something that was in this book that I don't feel like finding the quote, but it really stuck with me, is that home is going to be wherever you're at. Corny. This podcast, I say the corniest things, but like everything is true. Home is where your feet are at. You know what I mean? And so once you find yourself and like know yourself so well, anywhere you're at is going to feel like home. And you can restart anywhere that you're at. You can restart at your grandmother's house, like I'm living in. You can restart, at the same place that you've been at. Like, there always is time to restart in your life and, like, kind of, you know, relearn about yourself and regain like an understanding about what you like. And there's always time to pick up hobbies, and there's always times to like learn about yourself. And then once you do, and once you're like fully in tune with yourself and stuff, home is where your heart is. Home is wherever you are. And so I feel like now I'm like a little bit more comfortable with moving, because yes, like being in a new place can help and stuff, but I feel like I wanted to leave for like the wrong reasons, because I just wanted to like escape and stuff. And if you don't know yourself, and if you don't really like discover yourself, then wherever you go, you're going to feel the same way. If anything, probably worse, because you'll be alone and you won't really like know yourself, and it'll be even more lonelier. And so if you're someone in your life right now where you want to move and stuff, I would recommend that like you first really understand like, what do I want in life, and who are the types of people that I want to be around, and what makes me happy, and what little things can I do in my life that I love to do, and what are my passions, and what are my hobbies and stuff. And then you won't feel as alone when you're ready to like pack everything and leave, and when you're ready to just like go and kind of like restart and start this like new journey and path and stuff. And so that is the conclusion that I came up with by the end of this week. Is that the biggest thing in life is to find yourself and really like get in tune with yourself and discover who you are. And you're not going to do it in a week, and you're not going to do it in a month, and you're not going to do it in a year. Like, you're going to do it for the rest of your lifetime. Like, the rest of your lifetime, every single day, like, you are going to be learning more and more about yourself. And again, like I said in the beginning of this episode, there's no better way to spend your time. Like, that is a great way to live. And all these like self-doubts and all these thoughts where you're like, I have these like big goals and stuff, but I just don't think that I'm worthy of like achieving them. You are. And life is going to work out. But I spent so long, my hair's crazy right now, but I spent so long like overthinking life and overthinking everything and like my future and stuff. But it's times like these where you sit on the beach and the sun sets, and I am being so cheesy today, but it is really like times like these where you realize life is just like not that deep. And I feel like in life, like, you should want to have big goals, and you should want to have big dreams. And even if they sound like crazy, the crazier I feel like, the better and the more fun life becomes, because it's like, what can I do now, and like what can I keep doing to like achieve this. And once you achieve it, it's like such a great feeling, and it's so rewarding and stuff. And so again, if you feel like you're at rock bottom, or you feel like, you kind of just gave up and stuff, a lot of people go through this, and I have been through this, and I want you to know that like there's so much more in this lifetime. Like, there's so many places. Like, if you think about it, like, I live in New Jersey. I live in this like tiny town, and it's great, and the people are great, and the atmosphere is great. Like, you get winter and summer and all this stuff. Like, it's really fun and all this stuff, and I'm grateful for it. But there's also so much more to life. Like, there's Europe, and there's cities, and there's so many people out there, and there's so many opportunities and so many experiences. Like, there's so much life outside of just like this little bubble that I feel like I've kind of like put myself in. Like, there's so much to learn, and like there's going to be people there for you, and like you're going to meet so many more people. And like I feel like I got into this like mindset where I was like this is it, and like this is like over for me. But it really isn't. And life is like full of like great things and full of great people. Like think about it. Like you walk like 20 minutes down the street and you can be around people that you never even met before. Even 20 minutes away, like you can go. Like everyone on this beach I've never seen in my life before. You know what I mean? And I've lived here for 22 years of my life. I've been around here. There's so many people to meet, and there's so many things to learn, and there's so many places to be. And the only way that you're going to be okay with doing all these things and meeting all these new people and learning all these new things and being all these new places is when you find home within yourself and really understand yourself and believe in yourself. It's true. I know it could be really cheesy and corny and stuff, but for real, guys, like there's so much more out there in life. Then the first step is to know yourself so well and find yourself and go through these hard things and hit rock bottom and get through all these things, because then you're going to be ready to experience everything else that comes with life. And I am genuinely so excited for everything. Like I'm so excited for the people that I haven't met yet, and the things I haven't done, and the places I haven't been. It's exciting, and like life should be exciting, and you should have big goals, and you're going to accomplish them. You will. And that is the episode, because the sun is going down, my camera sucks, and I really have nothing else for you guys. If you want more on this topic, definitely I would recommend getting this book. It's a very easy read. This is not sponsored by them. If they want to sponsor me, go ahead. But this book is a really good read. And if you're someone that you feel like you're, at your low point or at a low point in life, maybe not your lowest point, I would recommend reading this book, and it'll really help you when it comes to like finding yourself and making yourself feel better. And yeah, that is the episode. The sun is going down and I'm scared. So thank you guys for listening. If you want, you can follow Love Letter in My 20s on TikTok. On Instagram, it is ALLTMT.pod. And you can listen to this on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next Tuesday at 8 a.m. Bye.